Ian sent hospitals on the southwest coast into crisis mode, and some are still dealing with the aftermath.
Along with operating on generator power, some lost other basic needs like running water. To protect patients, they've been coordinating with other hospitals to evacuate patients, some here to Palm Beach County.
CBS 12's Al Peflier reports a number of premature babies from that area were transferred to hospitals in our area. Al joins us live from Cleveland Clinic Tradition Hospital in Port St. Lucie. Al?
Liz, a woman from Southwest Florida said she had not seen her premature baby for 8 days until she arrived here at this hospital last night. She says she's relieved to know the baby got excellent care at this hospital a long way from home.
Nice ride.
Little Amara Fagan was born in Fort Myers September 15th, about 5 weeks premature. Her mom, Kaylee Highland, is delighted her baby girl is okay.
To be able to hold her and spend the time with her and to know she's coming home, it's the best feeling I could ever ask for.
The little girl was flown by helicopter last Thursday from Golisano Children's Hospital of Southwest Florida in Fort Myers to Cleveland Clinic Tradition Hospital in Port St. Lucie after Hurricane Ian hit Fort Myers, knocking out the hospital's water supply.
Once I knew I wasn't going to be able to see her and the storm hit, I was just afraid of when I was going to be able to see her again. I kept thinking, is she okay? Is she all right?
During the hurricane, the infant was in a neonatal intensive care unit at the hospital in Fort Myers, and Highland rode out the hurricane at home with her boyfriend and his family in Lehigh Acres. The hospital called her last Thursday night, saying the baby was being transferred to another hospital in Port St. Lucie.
They told me she was going all the way across the coast to Port St. Lucie. I cried, honestly. I couldn't believe she was going so far away and I wasn't going to be able to see her.
Kaylee does not have a car, so Cleveland Clinic got her an Uber ride all the way from her home in Southwest Florida to Port St. Lucie. And she got here Monday night to be reunited with her baby for the first time since the hurricane.
I'm excited and just happy to have her and knowing that she's healthy and hoping she doesn't want to venture anymore in her life.
You mean going through a hurricane was enough of an adventure for her?
Going through a hurricane, being premature.
Amara is one of 8 premature babies that were transferred from the Children's Hospital in Fort Myers to hospitals here on the Treasure Coast. Cleveland Clinic Tradition Hospital in Port St. Lucie got 5 of the premature babies, and 3 went to Cleveland Clinic Martin North Hospital in Stewart.
When I see what the team here is doing to take care of these patients and families and how these families have been made to feel safe and cared about, you know, it just makes me so proud of our team here.
Meanwhile, Kaylee says she'll have quite a story to tell her daughter someday about the hurricane she went through as an infant.
She looks absolutely healthy and happy, honestly. She looks like she hasn't even been through a hurricane. All I can think about is holding her.
And the hospital says all the premature babies will go home soon as long as they have a home that's safe to go to with water and electricity. And if their parents' home was damaged in the hurricane, then they will try to find temporary places for them to stay here in the Port St. Lucie area.
Death toll, sadly, from Ian is now up to 100 deaths here in Florida. That number expected to climb in the coming days as search and rescue groups are hitting some of the areas looking for survivors. Deputies with the Martin County Sheriff's Office, they're on the ground helping out as well. CBS 12's Lena Salzbank had a chance to team up with the rapid response team from Martin County to tell us what they're facing.
It's the piercing sound of alarms ringing from businesses boarded up and left behind following the storm. Handwritten messages scribbled onto homes trying to deter looters from coming in.
We're defending the business. We're here a lot, so about every hour, hour and a half, come back and check, make sure it's good.
Before Ian struck, the Hayes family packed their bags with their most valuable belongings, moving into their boss's Boost mobile store for shelter, where they may have been safe from the storm, but that isn't their only concern.
The Boost store actually right down the road got broken into Friday, which really kind of worried me.
We had issues with the generator that we have power now, right? So people were trying to steal it earlier.
On Friday, deputies with the Martin County Sheriff's Rapid Response Team traveled to the West Coast to help stop criminals looking to take advantage of people who are already at their most vulnerable.
Obviously, there is an aspect of it where people are in need of supplies, and that might be the only way for them to get the supplies. In other cases, people are just trying to capitalize off of a community's misfortune.
This is a neighborhood in Charlotte County where you could see Ian carved out a path of destruction. There are street signs that have been tossed to the ground. There's bedding that has flown into people's front yards. And every street looks like this one, from floodwaters and heavy winds.
You get a lot of people involved in that criminal element that are kind of looking to take advantage of people at their kind of lowest moment. We're seeing the glass being broken out. They're stealing cigarettes, alcohol.
The Hayes family says they're grateful that additional eyes are patrolling the streets and protecting the only shelter that they have left.
If our store gets robbed, that means I'm going to be longer without a job until inventory gets replaced.
The team came out here with everything that they need, including food, water, their own bathrooms, and this operation tent, which is fully equipped with beds and AC, because Martin County Sheriff's Office says they could be here in Charlotte County for at least a week.
There's a battle brewing in a subdivision in Port St. Lucie.
It has to do with the location of a nature trail. Our Victoria DeCardenas is joining us live from there with why there's so much controversy. Victoria.
Yeah, Jim and Liz, both sides of this argument have made their case to the master developer, and it all leads to this area behind me. But the path here is divided.
Trying to change 200 yards of it. That's what we're trying to do.
Tradition community resident Charlie Johnson is not in favor of the current proposed plan for Tradition Trail. He says he wants a change in the route.
It's just a different entryway point. That's all we're asking.
Johnson lives in Del Webb, one of several communities in Tradition that will have access to the future trail. In the initial proposal by the developers, people walking the trail would get to walk across the main road between two Tradition subdivisions and cut through the Del Webb community.
People would be able to come inside of our gated community without coming through the gates and getting permission to have access into the community.
They're proposing the trail moves towards the existing sidewalk down to Southwest Village Parkway to then re-enter here. Mary Milton, a Tradition resident and spearhead of Keep the Trail, says she understands their concerns, but ultimately she wants to stick to the original plan.
I look at it from the standpoint that when you buy into a community, you should do your research and understand what you're looking into.
Mary says it would disrupt the developer's idea for the trail.
It is about the continuity and the flow.
The flow she's talking about connects the community homes and other parks set to be built on Tradition Trail. And she's offered some solutions.
You don't have to eliminate the pedestrian crosswalk. You can just beef that up securely.
Ultimately, the decision will come down to the developers.
We have appealed, we've asked, we've done everything except get on our knees and ask them, would you please not do this?
And just last week, the Port St. Lucie Mayor Shannon Martin says she does not want the city involved in this decision and gave both parties and the developers 45 days to come up with one. Now, Matterly Homes did not speak with us, but they did provide a statement that's on our website, cbs12.com.